recent reports shows that, you know, women-led businesses in Africa, you know, have contributed significantly, you know, to GDP growth. So yet they've received only 3% of this global venture capital funding. So I must ask you, knowing that you've contributed so much in this sector, how is the African era, when I say women, I'm talking about the Chamber of Commerce, you know, addressing this funding gap of women, especially when it comes to the entrepreneurs of women today? And I know that you've been big on issues like this. I want you to talk to the issue at hand.
Yes, thank you so much for having me once again. Yes, you see, like I used to say before, that gone are the days when women, we are not, you know, given that opportunity. Right now, the opportunity is there. And if you're found lacking, you are the ones lacking it. At this moment, I believe that we've been given the chance to be able, you know, to reign, for us to be seen, heard, and recognized. And I mean, Nigeria is actually proving that. We have lots of women coming up as the CEO of, you know, banking industry and some other companies as well. So we have also some women presidents coming up as well. Yes, the lack is still there, that we don't have that opportunity. But I would say we have to strive and continue to make sure that we are getting that forefront of where we need to be, so that all these policies of lack of funding and not enabling us to have access to fund will be cut. At the end of the day, will be eradicated. And then coming from African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce, this is one thing I realized, that being someone that stayed in Dubai for about just 4 years, and I got there, I realized that so many things are lacking. And I said to myself, let's make some things happen, because you can't just sit there and be saying, complaining. If there is any complaint, inside that, like I say, inside a chaos, there is a situation of a solution. And all you need to do is to tap into that solution and find a way to sort it out. And for me, African Arab Chamber of Commerce was the niche for me, to find a way to bridge the gap between Africa. Of course, I'm from Africa, and being in the Arab region has really exposed, you know, so many things that is lacking. And like I used to say to Nigerians in the UAE, please look around you. Just don't sit down. Find out something. If there's something that you can do, you will always see that there is a way out at the end of the day. So I found African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce in order to exchange what we call investment back and forth from Dubai to Nigeria, from Nigeria.
What kind of investment?
We're talking of different sectors right now. We're talking of mining sector. We're talking of manufacturing company. In fact, last 2 weeks, I have a company from the UAE looking for companies that are into scraps. We're talking of metal scraps, toilet roll, plastics, and what have you. So they are in company that, you know, manufacture, you know, turn those scraps into something else for some other, you know, usage of, you know, maybe home use or whatever. So they are looking for stuff like this. So things like this are what I've been able, you know, to come up with, to bring in investors, even into Nigeria as well. I've been able to even involve 2 of my investors to Kogi State and Ogun State. So these and many more are the things I'm trying within my own capacity, and see how we can help thrive entrepreneurship from Africa to Arab and vis-a-vis.
And I must say, well done, well done. The rise in trade relations that between Africa and the Middle East, because I just feel that particularly in the last 5 years, when you review what has been happening, I feel that I must ask you, how does this chambers facilitate partnership, in terms of partnership that translates into, you know, measurable economic outcomes of members of the society, members at large? And the reason why I'm bringing this to fore is because according to the 2023 UAE Women's Report that said that mentorship, you know, can increase business survival, you know, with the, by over 50%. And I'm asking, can you share that success stories, you know, from your own mentorship initiative perspective,
Yes.
and how do we address all these challenges, specifically when it comes to the challenges of entrepreneurship in Africa and in Arab region, because
Yes.
there's an what's it called, interwoven relationship that helps that
Absolutely.
ease of doing business. But how have you been able to, what can you say to this?
Absolutely. First of all, like I used to say, why local when you can actually go global? When we are talking of trade, business and investments between Africa and Arab, it's been on before now. Gone are the days, in those days, where we have people trading, running through the desert Sahara, through camel and what have you to trade. So it's still on, but it's just that unfortunately the channel, has somehow been disrupted for one economical reason or the other. So through this chamber, because I'm a fan of women, when it comes to women, that is what I am for, and that is the reason why I have my magazine publication also, Ladies in Business magazine. Okay. I feature the women. We talk about their success stories, we talk about their struggle stories to inspire one another. And through this chamber, I'm looking out for a situation whereby I can literally open the gates for Africa, for Arab, for them to come together to navigate and collaborate, not just for business, for connection, for networking. Because if you're taking your local business to a global level, you have to understand, how the other people are working. And we have members from the chamber. So members from different African countries and of course from different Arab region. So them coming together for business collaboration and connection, it will foster that business investment. And at the end of the day, everybody will be happy. Because for me, I know that in every time that you set yourself to do a particular business that you want to do, if you don't have a proper channel, you may just be there. So through this channel, we are encouraging and advising and mentoring entrepreneurs, both from Africa and from the Arab region, for how they can export their products back and forth either ways, because there will always be something that somebody would need in your region to my region. So through this chamber, we are channeling all this process of business facilitation, investment, encouraging exportation, of course, knowing, mindful of the exportation process and what have you. Exactly, yeah. So all this being put into consideration is what the chambers stands for. And we've already established it in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and I'm extending it here. And like I used to say to people, please look around you for whatever that you can do. Stop complaining. People just love to say, there's no this, there's no that. No, because there was a time I was, actually last year I started coming to Nigeria because a company from Abu Dhabi asked me to help them in Nigeria. They want to establish their company here. Of course, because they know me over there that, I'm trustworthy and all that. So they needed a local person here in Nigeria. And they brought me back home, of course, with a good contract. I looked at it, I said, it's not bad. Let me go work back home. And at the end of the day, I look at it that this is my country. Nigeria is an opportunity for me
to give back to them in terms of empowerment.
Exactly.
And the likes and all that. I like that.